right, let's get into the news that's breaking right now up at Infowars.com. The fix is in. Obamacare website still doesn't work. Sign-up figures are 85% short of the 2-month target, and that's off their own numbers, polling people who believe they signed up. I mean, you're talking to idiot Obama supporters that really think that they signed up and are about to get free health care, and they're showing up at hospitals saying, I'm here for the free health care. I mean, I shouldn't laugh, but it's just really sad, folks. Continuing, expert says Amazon drones will crash into people. I think we should add a video that John Bound just produced for the Nightly News to that article by Paul Watson that's up on Infowars.com. Because imagine, they're saying they're going to have drones that will be flying around everywhere to deliver you your packages within 30 minutes. I mean, talk about sci-fi joke, ladies and gentlemen. And again, the insurance companies are already saying they're going to pressure everybody to go to robots as drivers because you won't be able to afford the insurance as a human driving, showing the robots is safer. This is how we're being enslaved. We have to decide that we don't want to live in a civilization like this. We want to remain free and say no to the nanny state. Continuing, get ready to pay more online. I'm going to cover this in the next segment. Supremes refuse to hear internet tax case. That's big. DHS Googling travelers before they enter the U.S. Yeah, that's because it's really an NSA database, but they can claim they're not breaking the law by doing it. Also, again, we already aired this, but it's big. Reporter tells MSNBC, Obama administration most hostile to the media in U.S. history. Well, that sounds racist. Criticism of the Fuhrer is racist. Canadian police arrest a man for photographing cop car as daughter records chilling scene. That video's up on Infowars.com. And, of course, the big news that I've been mentioning over and over and over again that is just so incredibly important. 3 times as many Americans supported King George during Revolutionary War than support Congress today. And you can officially say, you know, when is the government illegitimate? When it has 0% support? I mean, will it take 0% or maybe 0.5% support until we admit that the government is a tyranny by every yardstick? That is the question. Now, getting into other news here that I have in the stack. Nobel Prize economist warns of U.S. stock market bubble. An American who won this year's Nobel Prize for economics believes sharp rises in equity and property prices could lead to a dangerous financial bubble and may end badly, he told a German magazine. Robert Schiller, who won the esteemed award with 2 other Americans for research into market prices and asset bubbles, pinpointed the U.S. stock market and Brazilian property market as areas of concern. Folks, that's like saying an elephant, if you were in a small cage with it, might sit on you. I mean, it's like saying don't jump in a shark tank or something with starving great white sharks or something. I mean, this is, don't stick your hand down a rattlesnake hole. I mean, I love how they announce the obvious. The stock market is only up at 15,000 points or whatever in the Dow Jones because of devalued dollar. And because you can't get an investment of interest because of dollar devaluation in banks, you've got to go to the stock market. Period. Of course it's a giant, not even speculative bubble. It's the worst place to invest of a long list of things that are even worse. There's an economic collapse blog article on Infowars.com I want to cover. 15 signs that we are near the peak of an absolutely massive stock market bubble. It mentions Bob Schiller, the Nobel Prize winner, saying we're in trouble. The total amount of, number 2, of the margin debt has risen 50% since 2012 and is now at the highest level ever recorded. The last 2 times that margin debt skyrocketed like this were just before the busting of the dot-com bubble in 2000 and just before the financial crisis of 2008. Number 3, since the bottom of the market in 2009, the Dow has jumped 143%, and the S&P 500 is now 165%, and the NASDAQ has risen an astounding 213%. This does not reflect economic reality in any way, shape, or form. No, it's totally gamed, folks. And the yuppies still think everything's okay. Man, you're in for a rude awakening. And when they plunge the stock market, the yuppies will say, have property taxes federally, which they already have set up under Obamacare, have national sales taxes, take the middle class money, do whatever you can, save my $1 million in the stock market, which is basically imaginary money you're never going to get. And because of that imaginary golden egg, you're going to run right off the cliff. Market research firm TribTab says the S&P 500 is very overpriced right now. That's another understatement. 5, Mark Faber recently told CNBC, we are in a gigantic speculative bubble. Number 6, in the United States, Google searches for the term stock bubble are at the highest level that we've seen since November 2007, just before the last stock market crash. That's while the rats are leaving the sinking ship that is the trendy god Obama, even Kanye West, because they're going to blame it all on him.
Now you can watch The Alex Jones Show live as it happens at Infowars.com/show.
You'll find links to all of our content there and a free 15-day trial for Prison Planet TV.
More than 60 movies and documentaries all in one place at Infowars.com/show.
You know, you heard it here first from Gerald Celente, Max Kaiser, Mark Faber, Jim Rogers, Ron Paul, who's a great economist in his own right, and Peter Schiff. The list goes on and on. You know, you've heard it broken down over and over again at the middle of next year. Every number they look at, there's no way to stop massive acceleration in dollar devaluation. And we've been warning you of this for several years, but it's been building towards a crescendo. 2014 is going to be like nothing we've ever seen. The Christmas season will keep things going for a while. And again, even though this is a fiat fraudulent system, I don't want to see it come down. Because we'll see the very people that have engineered it grandstanding that they're going to fix everything. And then using the crisis to get even more power. That's why FEMA ordered the police to stand down, shut down aid coming in from the other states and counties and cities. Well, so they would then get double the funding the next year out of their screw-up. The old system in any government is if the government screws up, you remove it, you fire whoever screwed up. That way there's an incentive to not screw up. Now you get rewarded when the terrorists get through and attack you because you're really behind it and want to take power. You're really behind al-Qaeda if you're the globalist. And so they're like passing the hand grenade around politically of derivatives and of just thousands of times fake debt that we could ever pay back. 1.5 quadrillion is a very, very conservative number. Our real debt's 17 trillion, to give you an idea. It's all about, oh, you owe money. That's why you've got to bail out the banks. Even in 2008, they had to admit, no, it's derivatives, and it'll bring down the whole economy if we don't bail out these mainly foreign and offshore banks. Since then, though, they started creeping in going, yeah, you lazy Americans, you owe 10 trillion, and Obama's going to fix it. Now it's 17 trillion. Yeah, he cut the deficit in half. That's why he increased it by 7 trillion. And it's a big debt, isn't it? Yeah, you owe it all. And meanwhile, $48 trillion of tax money has been given to these foreign banks. They got so much money, they won't loan it because they don't even need your money anymore. They don't even do fractional reserve banking anymore, where a bank has $1 and loans out 10. In fact, under this system, they've gone into the regional and local banks that are actually keeping America going. I'm not romanticizing them, but they are angels compared to the private Federal Reserve holders, the 6 big banks, really 5 now. And they're going in, and the feds aren't letting local banks fractional reserve anymore. They're going, you're not allowed to loan out $10 for every dollar you got. They're like, that's how we've always done it. That's how we operate. Why do we? Nope. But you've got unlimited trillions. That's the way it works, suckers. And you're going to go under or sell out to us. And you think the dumb public's ever going to figure that out? And the public doesn't understand what I'm talking about. The mainline public doesn't know what fractional reserve banking is. They don't know what derivatives and credit default swaps are. They don't know what any of this stuff is. They have no idea what technocracy is. They have no idea what we're going under or how predatory it is. They're busy worried about Kim Kardashian. Have you seen the new Kim Kardashian card? The new Christmas card. They put her out as the image of the sex symbol, and they tell women, this is what you must look like to be successful, and this is what you must do to be successful. Totally manufactured by the system, totally put out there to then sell you with the commercials all their fraud, and it shows Illuminati symbolism all over it with the all-seeing eyes. and the little pyramids everywhere, and they're goddesses because they're into hip-hop. Meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, people believe the top of the pyramid is hip-hop and is Kanye West or any of these other people, when the New World Order is literally laughing at Madonna, laughing at Kim Kardashian, laughing. These people mean nothing. Nothing. They are literally pop nothings. The minute they try to do good, they would be destroyed. They have been chosen because they vapidly love the Illuminati, love Satanism, love the occult, and actually believe that they're part of it. They are the worm on the end of the hook for the little fish. That's it. Absolutely empty people whose lives you know are going to end badly. All these people that sell out to evil lead cursed lives. And of course, they're just one level of it. You've got all the other pop music singers who say that their sexual organs are possessed by demons and they're demon possessed, and they wear people's teeth around their necks, and little tweeny girls learn about how they need to worship Satan. So the big pickup line to pick up, teenage girls is, have sex with me and I'll put you in the Illuminati. I mean, just absolutely loving all of this. To where the Antichrist could rise up and tell people, Kim Kardashian says sacrifice your babies, and the young girls would take their child and strangle them. I'm telling you, folks, this is the type of just mindlessness, literally believing the hype, believing that they'll be fulfilled by the vapid system. All right, I want to go to your phone calls, but let me hurry through some of the other news here. I didn't finish up with what's happening with the 15 signs that the stock market's about to implode. Mark Faber recently told CNBC that we are in a gigantic speculative bubble. That's a quote. In the United States, Google searches for the term stock bubble are at the highest level we've seen since November 2007, right before the implosion. Price to earnings ratios are very high right now. According to CNBC, Pinterest is currently valued at $3 billion, even though it has never earned a profit. Number 9, Twitter is a 7-year-old company and has never made a profit. It actually lost $64.6 million last quarter, but according to the financial markets, it is currently worth $22 billion. Right now, Facebook is trading at a valuation that is equivalent to approximately 100 years of earnings and is currently supposed to be worth $1.15 billion, and is really a CIA front, I would add. Number 11, Howard Marks of Oak Tree Capital recently stated that he believes the markets are riskier than at any time since the depths of the 2008 crisis. Number 12, as Graham Summers recently noted, retail investors are buying stocks at a level not seen since the peak of the dot-com bubble in 2000. David Stockman, a former director of the Office of Management and Budget under President Ronald Reagan, believes that the financial bubble is going to end very badly. 14, Bob Janjuna of Namaruz Securities believes that this year could be, quote, 25 to 50% sell-off in global stock market over the next couple of years. And that'd be okay if they won't use the fear of the event to get a bunch of other garbage passed. The very people that engineered this, according to Tyler Durgan of Zero Hedge, the U.S. stock market is repeating a pattern that we have seen many times before. According to him, we are experiencing a well-defined syndrome, speculative market peaks, including exhaustively 29, 72, 87, 2000, 07, 11, before a market loss of 20% that was truncated by investor faith in a new round of monetary easing. That's right, folks. They can't pump this up forever, and it will finally go into a terminal spiral, and all the indicators are lining up for that to happen. And they'll try to get us into a big war to distract during that whole situation. You know, there's no way to cover all this. My stacks are all confused. Let me just start reading headlines here. Some of it old, some of it new. That report's up on Infowars.com. Reporter tells MSNBC Obama administration most hostile to media in U.S. history. DHS Googling travelers before they enter the U.S. And again, all the technology, everything is about ending the individual, ending your privacy, stealing all your data, stealing your inventions, weaponizing. Last week they came out with Homeland Security drones that face scan you with weapons to kill you, small ones. And they're so cheap now, they're just going to boil them out there. You try to go protest, the cops come attack you. Because the government has a 6% approval rating. It's rogue, it's been hijacked, it's illegal. And I want to tell all the dumb enforcers out there, most of you aren't, but those that are in select groups that hate the American people and think you're going to have a war with us and all this, you're idiots. This is a war that's meant to destroy you as well. Even if you're criminals and love evil, you should have some type of self-preservation in you to realize that this is an anti-human agenda with a massive Manhattan Project times 1,000 level total re-engineering of civilization towards forced population reduction, kill grid. All right, let's just keep going through headlines here. Look at this. Migraines linked to plastic cups and bottles, gender-bending chemicals in packaging may trigger the attacks. Yeah, and again, jumping off a 50-story building might make you break your legs. And they've got all these new big, giant studies out on bisphenol A, making men women hyper-feminine. So your breasts are like 80 years old when you're 30, with all the cysts and everything. Men getting breast, little girls going into puberty at age 5, having babies at age 7. I mean, it's just hardcore chemical warfare. And by the way, they specifically chose these plastics. I have the White House Science Czar and others on record to jack you up. They have this added. It's in all the printer ink, the money. You're under total chemical bombardment. And that's why you can't get upset. Unbelievable. Migraines linked to plastic cups and bottles. And it goes, drinking water from plastic cups and bottles could be giving millions of Britons headaches. New research shows the controversial gender-bending chemicals in synthetic packaging may trigger migraines. Bisphenol A. I've been telling you this for 15 years, and I'm attacked. By the way, the Pentagon wanted to spray this on Iraqis as part of a, quote, gay bomb. Because when they take the basic chemical and spray it on men, it then triggers the area of the brain that accesses scents through the nose, through the, I guess that's the olfactory nerve, and then you start smelling men's pheromones like it's a woman and wanting to have sex with them. By the way, people won't believe that. Google Pentagon planned gay bomb. Well, this is the gay bomb, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, dogs that are given it begin humping on each other and everything else, 2 male dogs. And they go, well, how dare you be against gay people? I mean, I'm against breast cancer and headaches, you know. I'm not against somebody in Roman times that was naturally attracted to another man. The point is, this is being done to jack us over so that we don't have kids, you idiots. There it is. I'm talking to MSNBC. Oh, there it is. U.S. military pondered love, not war. The U.S. military investigated building a gay bomb, which would make enemy soldiers sexually irresistible to each other. Government papers say, hey, you like the gay bomb, folks? And then all the TV things and all of it to convince you this is what you want. This is what you do. This is what happens. But it's always a side issue about the gay bomb thing. They think their viewers, I mean, this has been on CNN, Nightline, you know, everything has attacked me on this gay bomb stuff. And they never show their viewers that I'm showing you documents. They just say, he police the government, puts chemicals in things to make you gay. It makes the fish from the runoff have both sexual organs and the frogs. In fact, there's many more statistically hermaphrodites now at birth. And they're like, that's fine. That's the new way. Don't be against them. And I liken it to the last man alive on Earth, where he finds the cure to the zombies. And there's a subgroup of zombies that aren't crazy. They're actually like vampires, undead. And he goes to them and he goes, I have the cure. Or I guess Omega Man's a remake where it happens. He goes, I have it. And they go, we don't want it. Yeah, and just throw the stake right into him. He's like, oh, I mean, and that's what it is. I'm like, they're putting chemical weapons in that give us breast cancer and all these other estrogen type triggered cancers in all these different glands of the body. This is really deadly. Please be aware of it. They're like, shut up, you gay basher. And I'm like, I have nothing against gay people. I could care less. I'm not thinking about it. This is a chemical warfare attack. They're like, shut up, racist. I think Obamacare is a scam. I read the bill. It's going to double and triple prices written by insurance companies. Shut up, racist. Was it racist or was I right? Their Air Force considered gay bomb against enemies. And how do you wreck the military? You put women in combat. You know, when a woman calls up, even on air, and I'm married, but when a woman calls up on air and is giggling and talking to me, I immediately just start thinking about, her voice instead of what I'm even talking about on air. Can you imagine in heavy combat with a bunch of women in there with you? I mean, I will guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, that even though they've given us all the gay bomb juice, still, I find the shape of women and the look of women, the smell of women, the eyes of women delightful. And that's because I'm bad. I'm the terrorist. I'm the evil one. I mean, they're putting it in the water to hurt us. They're putting it in all the printed goods. They're putting it in the money. And they know, and they brag and write books about it. It's all funny to them. Oh, here's more. Get ready to pay more online. Supremes refused their internet case where they said they could have internet taxes, so it looks like that's going to go forward. Transgene escape, GMO spreading uncontrollably around the world, jumping into other crops and other plants and other animals and humans. Total death. That's all right. They love us. Australia spy agency offered to share info with other allies. That's how they all do it. It's all one global government. They're just doling out ancient news I put out in the mid-90s. More on how our government armed the Mexican drug cartel. Why is nascent iodine so important?
Nascent iodine is so important because it goes directly to the thyroid. It's not bonded to a salt, which means it doesn't have to be broken down. And it's the most usable form. It's what the body uses. It's what the body is designed to use. If you have low energy levels, if you have pains, if you have thyroid problems, if you don't feel up to par, well, they've proven now that the fluoride and a lack of iodine causes a decreased IQ because you have all this stuff that builds up inside your system and builds up and builds up. And that's why some people, when they start taking iodine, will have what's called a Herxheimer reaction or a detoxification reaction. But that's a good sign. That means you're detoxifying all that fluoride buildup, the mercury buildup in there, the bromine buildup in your system, and the chlorine buildup in your system. You don't want those things. All of those things have been proven as carcinogens. That's one of the reasons prostate cancer is on the rise too, is because prostate takes up iodine, and the men that are lacking iodine causes the prostate to become cystic and causes the prostate to swell and eventually leads to prostate cancer. There's been an extreme rise in polycystic ovarian disease, PCOS, with women, fibrocystic breast disease, because iodine is stored in the breast tissue, the ovaries, the prostate glands in men. It's utilized by every single cell in the body.
Why does this almost taste good compared to other iodine that tastes horrible? That's because it's real iodine, atomic form.
We wanted something that's going to go straight into the bloodstream and straight into the thyroid gland. We wanted to put it in a vegetable glycerin base. That's a USP kosher certified vegetable glycerin base. And that product is not tested on animals. It's vegan friendly. It's gluten free. It's GMO free.
Of all the things I've done, nascent iodine was just absolutely amazing. So we developed with Dr. Group a double strength, low price, InfoWarsLife.com, Survival Shield, the atomic nascent iodine, available right now. I didn't even get to this last night or today, and I meant to. I have a whole stack about MI5 and MI6 going after the London Guardian for publishing what Snowden was exposing. He was exposing criminal activity. And so now they're criminally going after those reporters. I told you they're heroes. And if they can bring them down, they can bring us all down. And you got Dianne Feinstein saying she'll decide who is the press and who has press freedom. This is open authoritarianism. And we've got to have the entire media and the entire culture turn against these people. And we've got to stand with the real media in this country, whether it's Infowars.com or DrudgeReport.com or other groups that are fighting the globalists, Glenn Beck, Michael Savage, and I'm not saying any of those guys are perfect, but they're all being targeted by the globalist because they're not collectivist and they don't want to destroy America. I'm not perfect either. We've just all got to come together, ladies and gentlemen, or there's going to be no country and no future. All right? This is very, very serious. Briefly, I mean, here's an example. It took 2.5 years. It's finally going to get here in the next 2 months. Fox News reports radioactive Japanese wave nears the U.S., highly radioactive. Radiation's already gone up, in some cases, more than 5-fold on the West Coast. And they don't even tell people, have a good source of a nascent atomic iodine to protect your glands. It's amazing. The reason I came out with my first InfoWars Life product, I was going to come out with vitamin powders and stuff that we're going to be coming out with that are really good, was because I found out this was the best for my family, started taking it, had an incredible result, found out nobody even knew about this stuff, that it was patented. They were selling like 100 bottles a month or something. This is an outfit selling a lot of other stuff successfully. And I said, I want it all. And so we are the one source of Survival Shield, InfoWarsLife.com product. We have it in mass now. Get it, give it to friends, give it to family. Take it for a month. And if you don't have results, I'll eat my hat. You've heard nothing but positive reviews. There is such iodine deficiency in this country. Go to InfoWarsLife.com. Watch the videos that are up on the site that break all this down. It is so incredibly important. Again, InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139. And there's an informational video right there. If you scroll down, I can show the TV viewers. They've still got the one up there about Fukushima. The one we need to get up on the site is the one I shot 2 weeks ago that gets into the iodine conspiracy and the halogen family. That's even more important. That's why I did that video. So we're going to get that added up there to the shopping cart. Let's jam in a call right now. Mike in Texas, thanks for holding. You're on the air.
Hey, Alex. I was at the Mises Institute this summer, and I met with a lot of great people. If you want to find out about what that other caller was discussing with regards to the unemployment and the exact correlation with that and the raising of the minimum wage, you should look for a video and an article. It's titled "How to End Unemployment in One Day." It's by Walter Block. He's the professor of economics from the Mises Institute. He's in charge of all the curriculum there. It's the most convincing set of reasons why they should just...
No, I've read it. It's absolutely on target, but you've got to have a real free market to do that. Karl Marx got it right when he said in the future there'll be such production, we'll all work 1 day a week. That's what Dr. Bob Bowman broke down as well. We should be working really 2 days a week, according to his numbers. That's why they try to have taxes and regulations to shut down productivity and create artificial scarcity. And that's what regulations and minimum wage are about. Go ahead.
Well, also in regards to the things that we should do to, in other words, solutions for this, I think when we talk about the globalists and those guys and the people who are in
okay, well, stay there. I'm going to come back to you in overdrive.
Now you can watch The Alex Jones Show live as it happens at Infowars.com/show.
You'll find links to all of our content there and a free 15-day trial for Prison Planet TV.
More than 60 movies and documentaries all in one place at Infowars.com/show.
Yeah, they call it the economy overheating. Whenever the economy starts doing good, they raise taxes and regulations, which they're all exempt from, to shut you down. And you were mentioning the economist Block, and I've read that years ago about what the minimum wage does. Yeah, there's a reason communists always want a minimum wage. You look what it does to countries. Plus, then they game the system with illegal workers, prison workers. It's all incredible. But the no discussion of devaluation of the currency, that's the real cause of wage discrepancy and people not having good buying power. Go ahead and finish your point. You were saying we shouldn't just talk about the globalists, or what were you getting at?
Well, I was wondering if you have something on the website or another website you can recommend that actually put faces and names to who these people are. I mean,
basically, it's a Bilderberg Davos meeting, or the top people in the Trilateral Commission, or CFR. I mean, it's the globalists. It's literally a couple hundred people, and then maybe 5,000-6,000 minions. That's it. It's a criminal insider group of corporations that control the government.
Fortunately, the way I see it going is I don't see the globalists getting their way. I don't see us having a civil war where we all kill each other and then they show up here like Columbus and just claim the whole nation. I don't see that happening. Well,
that's what they'd like, though. What are you going to do? I agree with you. What do you do when they blow up a school and say that an Alex Jones listener did it, and we've had enough of these people, we're going to start arresting not just members of the press but the extremists? What do you do then?
Well, unfortunately, I think that's when you're going to have to use your Second Amendment rights. I mean,
and they're going to call it a civil war. They don't care how many military or police get killed. They love it.
Of course they do.
So what do we do? We reach out to the military and police now and educate them so they understand what's happening.
Well, in other words, I don't think we can wait for that. What I think we do is we get some of the awake sheriffs and, let's find our own Smedley Butler. And instead of having a revolution where they try to take 500,000 Marines and, round up, the government here and align with Hitler, I think we round up all those people on that list of all those families. We round those people up.
Well, I do think we round them up and then show evidence in court of what they've done. The problem is they will fight if we don't let them go. They'll set off nukes, you name it. It's better, like Napoleon, to put them on Alba or to just kick them out of the nation and take all their wealth.
Pinochet, look what he did.
Yeah, I mean, well, you know why they do that? Because they will blow the planet up. They've said it before they stop. We've got to just obviously arrest the ones that have been ordering murders and torture and stuff, but the ones that have swindled and stuff, you know, I think you take 99% of their wealth, you kick them out of the country. I'm only saying that historically because, you know, I'd love to see these people hung by the neck until dead. They deserve it. The problem is that, you know, we need to politically annihilate them and expose them for their crimes. And politically, so everybody knows they're the authors of our misery. And then when they stage stuff, people will know who's behind it. And then but yes, we do need to arrest them. It is true. I mean, they're giving us no quarter. We absolutely have to wrest control of civilization from them and get back on a common sense course. These people are cancer and they've got to be arrested. It's true. The problem is they plan to arrest us instead. And that's what's forced me to the point of saying, yeah, they do have to be arrested. They all have to be arrested. It's a couple thousand of them. That's it. For crimes against the Republic. They had a bunch of top generals come out. WorldNet Daily had it this year. And they're calling for an Un-American Activities Committee. Look at how Hollywood won't hire anybody if they're not pro-socialist or Obama. They've already set up their purge. And let me tell you, selling us out, saying our military's under NATO or funding Al-Qaeda, that is punishable by, you know, and that's the law. Is it firing squad or hung by the neck until dead? Let's just not go there. Let's just arrest these people. And I agree, it's got to be done politically, it's got to be done right, but they do need to do the perp walk and then just kick these folks out of the country. The answer is kick the tyrants out of the country. That is the answer. You're a globalist, you're against America, you're against freedom, you plotted against our free rights, against our Bill of Rights, you're arrested.
Now you can watch the InfoWars Nightly News streaming live as it happens for free.
Check it out at Infowars.com/show.